Have you ever saved up for weeks or months to buy the newest camera? And once you get it, you scour the internet looking for inexpensive lenses, microphones, and the most bargain basement lighting? And then after only a couple of years when the next cameras come out, you go to sell your old camera only to realize it's now worth a fraction of the price. Panicked looking at your bank account, you have to save up again to buy the latest and greatest to go along with your cheap gear? Ramen soup for me. Well, what if I were to tell you we're all spending our money backwards? Because I've discovered the gear to invest in the most, that last, keep value, and help you get the professional results you want. So this all started last year when I noticed everyone is switching to Sony, and even though I had Canon equipment, I thought I'd have to sell it to keep up and change brands for seemingly the 100th time. I looked up my camera, which I had paid $2,300 for only 3 years ago, only to find it was now worth nearly $1,000 less. And of course, technology improves rapidly, and with frequent use, there's wear and tear, so obviously it's going to depreciate. But then I thought about watches. See, I love watches, and certain watches you can buy, wear them, beat them up, and when you go to sell them, they're worth nearly what you paid, or sometimes more. Now, of course, we can't expect our cameras to increase in value, but that got me thinking, do other pieces of gear hold their value better? So I went to work, categorizing all the different types of camera gear, searching for the best high-end, medium, and budget examples in each category. Then I looked at how they retained resale value over time, from 1 year all the way past 10. Using knowledge from years of making spreadsheets for both work and fun, I put it all into these fancy graphs that would tell me which gear I should invest in the most and where I should spend my budget. And I found something amazing. I realized collecting gear is like putting together an NFL team. In the NFL, quarterbacks are the most important position. Without them, no team could score points. Because of this, teams pay quarterbacks more than anyone else on the team. Cameras are a little like quarterbacks, and it's the reason we obsess about having the latest and greatest, because without one, the best I could do is put on a one-man play. But there are two sides to every team, the offense with the quarterback and the defense trying to stop them. And you have to invest in both in order to compete. Gear's the same way with video and audio. If you have the most amazing camera and your video quality looks great, but your audio quality is terrible, overall it's going to be bad. And that's where I saw the discrepancy in the graphs. On the audio side, virtually every category of audio gear from recorders to boom poles fared better than its video counterpart, but nothing retained value better than microphones. Specifically high-end XLR microphones like this Shure SM7B. In fact, because microphone technology changes much slower than cameras, I found plenty of examples of microphones retaining 60 to 70% value after more than a decade. So instead of switching camera brands, I listened to the almighty graphs and instead purchased a microphone, this Sennheiser MK416. And if you think a microphone isn't that important, compare this Sennheiser with a budget microphone. Which is better? It's a no-brainer. The greatest part about starting your gear collection with a nice microphone is that whenever you do upgrade your video, you already have the audio quality to match that fancy new camera. So then I thought, what else could these magical graphs tell me? Well, maybe common sense, but tripods, C-stands, microphone stands, light stands hold their value well and could be used for more than a decade. When it comes to the camera, it's the lens that's the better purchase. If you're not stupid like me, you can pick a brand and stick to it and slowly build up a lens collection even as you upgrade your camera. And as tempting as those new cameras are, by 10 years on average, cameras retain less than 20% of their original price, with a real drop-off happening at 3 years. That presents an opportunity to buy a used camera right around 3 or 4 years old. The technology is still relevant, but unlike cars right now, you won't have to pay a premium price. Now, everyone will have different needs, and if you can afford the best, then go for it. But otherwise, you're better off starting with a nice microphone, getting a few lenses, and then buying a used camera that you can upgrade later. And don't be afraid to get a nice tripod for that camera as well. In the description, I've included some of the best gear I've found that's retained good value in a lot of different categories, from cameras to microphones to lighting. And once you buy all that gear, you're gonna really wanna learn how to use it, so click here to start.